Everyone, Zeddy here again with our final Titans card review of the day, as a huge dump of neutral cards has been released, like 10 or so cards on the Hearthstone subreddit. There's a bunch of garbage filler cards, but there are also some pretty spicy ones that could see some meta play. We're going to go over all of them, including the highest statted zero cost card in Hearthstone history. So there is that. And if you want to win these cards, we have a giveaway going on of 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles, and on my pocket, all you have to do to enter that giveaway, like, comment in the description, video in the description below, be subscribed to the channel. We are just under 400 subs away from unlocking that next mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's take a look. There are a bunch of cards to go over, including, like I said, the highest statted zero cost card ever in Hearthstone history. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I don't believe there's anything bigger than the Ancient Totem, a 0 mana, 0/3 neutral totem. 3 stat points on this guy. Normally there's been 1/1s or a 0/2 with taunt in the mech target dummy, right? But I don't believe we've ever had 3 stats on a 0 drop. And is this good? In standard, probably not. Totem Shaman is kind of a thing. You could play it there, but overall, there's not a lot of great like totem buffers, and I just don't think you want to play a 0 drop totem. I just don't see it. This is like kind of a buff to devolve effects, as this now, at least in standard, allows you to devolve style of cards. You can get a 0 attack minion for your opponent rather than just 1/1s. So you could actually board lock your opponent if they don't run buffs. They have a full board of you just devolve their board over and over until they have 0, all the 0/3s, right? I think the only really devolving card in standard is that Primordial Wave for Shaman, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. But in terms of a standard card, I'm going to give it a 1. I don't see it seeing play. In Wild, though, I think Even Shaman might play this. You can play this in Even Shaman. It's a 0 mana totem. It gets your thing from below going. You have your 0 mana buffs, which are really powerful. It might actually see play there. I don't know if it'll make the cut, but it has a possibility as an even cost card. So I'm going to give it a 3 for Wild, just for Even Shaman. Literally just that. But look out, that is an actual possibility. It could see play, but yeah, basically Wild only. We then have the Drone Deconstructor. This card has some spice to it, okay? It is a 1 mana 1/2 mech with Battle Cry. You get a 1/1 magnetic spark bot with a random bonus effect. So this is kind of reminiscent of Firefly. You're not getting another 1/2, but you're getting a 1/1. But take a look at these options. These are all 1/1 magnetic mechs. You can either get Divine Shield, so slap this onto any other mech that it gives it Divine Shield. That's pretty good. You can give it Taunt. Not great, one of the worst options, and it's completely random, by the way. And I'm curious if we'll see more Sparkbot cards. It kind of reminds me of Spare Parts, where there was a bunch of cards that had spare parts, but we'll see if this is the only one. So you can get Taunt, you can get Rush, so it's like Skaterbot or Skater Boy, or whatever it was called, I can't remember. That's literally that card, and that was like decent, and you could get it for like 0 mana and all that. You could discount this stuff too to 0 mana if you -1 mana it, so that can be really good. You can give something Wind Fury. That is really scary. I was just saying on stream just yesterday, the way they could break mech decks even more in Wild is give it a mech with magnetic Wind Fury. Well, it exists, it's random, but you hit that and then you just slap it onto any mech that's already on the board. That can do insane damage. So that's an incredible high roll. You have Lifesteal, not the best. So not the best, option, but it can be good. You could get a huge lifesteal swing, and then Stealth. You can give up, and it's not just for the 1 turn, it's permanent. You can give a mech permanent stealth. So that's also a really scary option, as well as Poisonous. Just trade something cheap off and kill something, or Reborn, make it really sticky. You see, most of the options are really good. really scary, particularly Wind Fury, Stealth. There's a lot of really good hits there. I think this card's going to go into pretty much any mech deck, period. It's a 1-mana mech with insane high roll potential, and also just most of them are really good. Like Taunt, Lifesteal, probably the worst, and even then they might be useful. So I'm going to give this a 4 stars. For those mech decks in standard and wild. The Wind Fury one is going to be so tilting to face. Look out for that. This card looks very strong to me in any mech deck as long as they're playable. Why is there a Wind Fury option? That is so tilting to me. I can't believe I literally just said that on stream. Next, we have a 4-mana 7/7 neutral. That's right, a 4-mana 7/7 for every class, and it has taunt. And it also can't attack. It also cannot attack. It does have taunt though, so your opponent has to get through it. I still don't think it's playable. I still don't think like you're playing this in like a Silence Priest or anything like that. It just dies to BGH or the Black Knight. How could you possibly play it? But the fact it can't attack, right? Like, yeah, you get a big taunt. That's something. But overall, I don't think that's enough to warrant a card slot in today's game. I am going to give it a 1 out of 5 in standard and wild. Maybe a decent pick in arena, maybe, just to get that big taunt that can be hard to remove. But I just don't see this making your deck like intentionally in the current game. We have Trog Exile, a 3-mana 4/4. It's got Rush 2, but also has Battle Cry, deal 4 damage to your hero. I guess Demon Seed support in wild. There's that. You can even brand it for even more self-damaging. But overall, I don't think you're spending, 4 health just to cheat out a little bit of stats earlier with Rush in any deck in the current game. I don't see it. I'm giving it a 1 in standard, a 1 in wild, even with that incredible Demon Seed support. But you might pick it in arena. It might be okay, but even there, health is a resource too, so not exactly a slam dunk card. We have the Relentless Warg, a 3-mana 2/4 rush beast, so not the best stats at all. After this attacks and kills a minion, restore this to full health. This has to be hand buff to be worth playing. Like a 2/4 for 3 mana in today's game, it barely kills a 2-drop. Most cards you're playing on turns 1 and 2 have 3 health already. Like, that's how the game is. In a 3-drop, you're never killing, really, ever. Unless it's like Cowbell's Soloist, which sees 0 play. I'm giving it a 1 in standard, a 1 in wild. Like, even hand buffing, you don't want to spend your time hand buffing a minion that's just got rush and can heal up. It's just not, again, worth the card slot. It's not even that great in arena. That 2 attack is just not enough. It's just not great. It's going to really struggle to kill things. It's a pretty weak card. We also have a pretty good mech here, the Tram Operator, a 5-mana 4/4 mech. Battle Cry, draw a mech, so it draws a card, and then the next mech you play costs 2 less. It is not it's any mech, right? And that's the next turn or whatever. So this is mana cheat you can bank. You can play the Rogue Titan for 4 mana. You can play Flame Leviathan. I guess Flame Leviathan's the wild card. You can play that for 5 mana. You could draw it and deal 2 to everything. But the Leviathan for Paladin for 5 mana. You can pick whatever mech you want to play for 2 less. Another Tram Operator. I don't know if this is fast enough for mech decks, but it's draw and it's mana cheat. I'm not going to sleep on it. I think in standard, the mech decks are getting a lot of support, and this allows you to draw, mana cheat, and get yourself a mech on the board. You can attach magnetics to this. You can discount this as well. Seems like a really decent card. I will give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. Probably a 2 out of 5 in wild, where it's too slow for those mech decks. Like, seriously, they don't run anything over like 3 mana, except like I think maybe Mage runs Gaia sometimes. But overall, I do think this will be a standard player. Next, we have the Serenite Tolvir, Senjin, got Power Crap, 4 mana, 3/5 taunt. Whenever this is attacked, draw a card. So, situational taunt card that might get you a card or 2. Arena pick. It's a 1-star card in standard and wild, but at least the flavor's cool. I like the artwork, but I just don't think you're playing this. You could do some shenanigans in Wild with like Provoke and Warrior, and there's a bunch of tokens on the board, Provoke and get them to attack in. But overall, cards that rely on your opponent in certain board states, typically not the greatest. We have the Flame Revenant, a 2-mana 2/3 elemental, premium statted. After you summon an elemental, give it +1/+1. So like a snowball card, but there's not a lot of great elemental decks in the game right now. And even then, I don't think this is probably worth a slot itself. It doesn't really do a lot. It just gives a little bit of a stat buff. So it is important to note it's summoned, so not like play. So if like you were to generate elementals and all of that, I just can't think of a great way of really buffing up elementals as it stands right now. So in Standard and Wild, again, I'm going to give it a 1 star. Don't think it'll see any play, but in Arena, you could pick it as a 2-drop to just play in curve, and if you get a buff on something, that's always nice as well. We have the Victorious Vrykul. I'm sure I butchered that. 1 mana 1/2. After this attacks, you get a 2/3 Valkyr that costs 1, and it looks like that. It's an undead as well, so that's kind of cool. It's called a Victorious Valkyr, so this has to attack to get the value, and then you just get a 1 mana 2/3. Like, that's okay. But a 1/2 is typically pretty easy to kill. I mean, it's no Tunnel Trog or whatever, or not Tunnel Trog, whatever the Trog was. I've Iron Deep. I think it's Iron Deep Trog. I put it out of my mind. The 1/2 that would copy itself or summon another one after a while. Again, I think this is another 1-star card to get value. You got to attack it, and even then, like, you're getting a 2/3. If it keeps attacking, you keep getting 2/3s. But I just don't think you're really winning the game with that, like, at all. You can give it rush and things like that, but again, is not really worth the effort. So another 1-star card in Standard and Wild. And then lastly, we have probably one of the better cards out of this, the Ravenous Kraken, a 3 mana 2/5. So pretty hard minion to kill. Battle Cry, you destroy a friendly minion. Death Rattle, summon a copy of it. Cube, it's back, but only 1 this time. But maybe that's pretty good. Cube was busted at 5, and now you're getting a 2/5. Or sorry, you're getting, you're getting one of them, and it's 3 mana, and you can play that Hunter/Death Knight card that you can double the Death Rattle on it and do some stuff. You can hit like a big rush, a charger, a Death Rattle card. This probably will see play in some deck somewhere. Again, 3 mana cube. I know you're getting half the amount, but you only have to spend 3 mana on this. So some real potential. I just feel like I can't sleep on a card like this. I feel like it should pop up somewhere in some decks, especially when there are a lot of Death Rattle synergies or undead, or sorry, not undead, but Reborn. Reborn can be good to copy too, things like that. So I will give it a 3 in Standard, a 3 in Wild, because again, it's cheap enough. And you got Bran in Wild, which actually that doesn't really work so well, does it? You just kill the minion. It doesn't work, but still, you got Bran. It's there. It's a Battle Cry minion. You could just do things. I don't know. But regardless, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, 3 out of 5 in Wild. And that is all the cards for the day, I believe. I think the last, if the neutrals are tomorrow, if not, yeah, I think there are some more tomorrow, and then the class cards will finally begin as well. I think Demon Hunter and stuff starts. We'll keep you up to date on all that, so stay tuned, and I'll probably have a video up later today, another one to get you guys to vote. The voting will reopen for Choose Your Titan very soon, and we need to get those free packs, so look out for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.